From Fox 8 Sports, this is the Overtime Podcast.
From the Fox 8 studios in New Orleans, this is the Fox 8 Overtime Podcast. I'm Vasilios, that is Sean Fazan. Welcome back to another episode. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, and review. You can find us wherever you listen to and now watch your podcast. Make sure if you're watching on YouTube, you subscribe, like, and hit that little bell notification button. You get notified whenever we upload a new video. What's good, brother?
It's been a while. How are you? Doing well?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I've been we've been pulled in a few different directions over the last couple of weeks, so that's why the podcast videos have dipped a little bit, but we'll swing those back up here beginning today. Got to give a shout out to LSU though. Incredible run, incredible national championship, and you know we were there every step of the way. I wasn't in Omaha, Madeline was, but what an incredible ride, an incredible gauntlet they went through to finally get that national championship, their seventh. I was in Baton Rouge for the celebration. It was hot. My God, was it hot, but that didn't stop LSU fans, which was not a surprise. So a great run, a great group of guys. I mean, we talked to a lot of those guys, a great group of guys that obviously deserved that natty. I'm an LSU guy, so I was certainly thrilled. Now that that has been addressed, let's get back into the topic at hand. And still, we're in the dead period for the NFL. It's that window of mid-June to late July where they're on break. They're on summer vacation. They're on break. So it's a good time for these types of discussions. We did this last year. I wanted to do it this year. We are going to rank 1 through 32, the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Sil has his list. I have my list. 1 through 32. We're gonna do the NFL starting quarterbacks. 1 being the best, 32nd obviously being the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Before we do that, remember, like you said, like, share, rate, review, comment in the YouTube comment section as well. Also, if you want to hit us up with a question, the Final Word feature on the Final Play app. So, Fox 8 Overtime Podcast is the way to go. So, Sil, how do you want to do this? Do you want to go start at the top and work our way down, or start at the bottom and work our way up?
I think we got to start at the top because I think that's that middle territory, as I know.
Yeah, we went through our lists, and it's what and what through the first few, and then once we get to about that middle tier column in the back of the back column of this, the back third, if you will, we have strikingly different opinions. For me, before we get going, this is with the assumption that C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson are going to start.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that's pretty fair I don't want to assume it, but for this list, let's just play that game because, there's, back up here, back up there. You don't know how long they're going to start. So let's just, for the sake of argument, make it nice and clean. They're going to start. As is for Washington, all we know right now is it's Sam Howell. And for, obviously, Green Bay, it's going to be Jordan Love taking over. So, because that impacts my list and it impacts his. So, why don't we go 1 through 5, and we'll kind of give our explanations for our 1 through 5. So, what do you have?
All right. So, Mahomes at number 1, Joe Burrow at number 2, Josh Allen at 3, Jalen Hurts at 4, Lamar Jackson at 5.
We're close. We're close 1 through 5. 1 through 3, we're at exactly the same. I have Mahomes 1. That's obvious. Now he's got the extra ring. I think he's the best quarterback in football right now. Nipping at his heels is number 2, Joe Burrow, who was in Omaha, at number 2. All he needs is a ring, and that could fluctuate between those two. Number 3, Josh Allen. I think, from a purely skill set standpoint, he's as talented as they come. But this is where we differ. Number 4, I still am an Aaron Rodgers guy. I know he's not for everyone. Now he's not for the Packers. He's with the Jets. There seems to be a little bit of rejuvenation in that organization. I think he's got a little bit of I hate the term chip on the shoulder, but a little bit of extra motivation now that he's with a new franchise. So I have Aaron Rodgers 4 because when it comes to arm talent and making plays, he can still get it done. Number 5, I will admit this is a little bit of, I don't want to call it irrational, but maybe his resume doesn't necessarily stack up here. I have Justin Herbert. I'm just a huge fan of his skill set. So that's the one where I break my rule. Is with Justin Herbert. I have him number 5. So it's Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Rodgers, and Herbert. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So.
All right, so your 5 is my 6. I got Herbert at 6. I have Aaron Rodgers at 7. I think he's not quite that top 5 guy anymore, so I feel like I had to knock him down a couple notches behind the young bucks that we got in the top 5 there. And then this is where I kind of start to get a little weird with it. I got Trevor Lawrence at 8.
Okay.
I got Matthew Stafford at 9.
Okay.
And Kirk Cousins at 10.
Not completely different from me. Not completely different. You had Herbert. You had Jackson Herbert 5, 6. I have Herbert Jackson. I have Lamar Jackson at 6. I have Stafford at 7. I know he was injured last year, but the year before that he was fantastic. Won the Super Bowl. I thought he was the best player in the playoffs that year. So I like Stafford at 7. We have the same number 8, Trevor Lawrence. I like Trevor Lawrence's skill set. Certainly played well last year towards the end of the year and into the postseason. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. This is going to probably upset some people because of what he accomplished last year, but now I have Hurts. And probably for the same reason why I like Justin Herbert is probably is a little irrational on Hurts. I just want to see it one more year because I still kind of feel like that Eagles team was special last year and they were pushing all the right buttons. I don't know if I'm ready to put him in the top 5, so we have him at number 9. Number 10, we're on the same page, Kirk Cousins. I have Kirk Cousins as the 10th best overall quarterback in the NFL. And really, when you get to 9, 10, down to like 20, it can be really fluid, this list. And it's not easy to decipher one from the other because there's a lot of guys in this good to very good category that aren't necessarily elite yet. So this is where it gets fun once we pick up here at number 11. Who do you have?
Number 11, I got Daniel Jones. And then 12, Derek Carr, your New Orleans Saints quarterback. Then we get to 13, got Dak Prescott. 14, Geno Smith. 15, Jordan Love.
That's high for Jordan Love.
I think
he's never started a game. Has he started a game yet?
I know it seems a little high, but I mean, based off what I saw from him last year compared to the previous years where we saw him get a little bit of action, he looks like a different quarterback. Now, we'll see if he makes or breaks my trust this year because that's why I put him so high here. I like Jordan Love, and I think kind of at the midway point isn't a bad spot for him.
I think he can get there eventually. He's not there yet. Okay, 11 through 15. 11, I have Derek Carr. You remember we did a bunch of pods on this tier of quarterback.
Yeah.
Cousins, Dak, Tannehill, those guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Derek Carr.
we'll have those guys right there.
We're entering here. I have Carr over Dak. I just think he's a better quarterback than Dak. Dak has had a little more success. I just think he's a better quarterback than Dak. But I have 100%. Dak next at 12. Then I have Russell Wilson, who's coming off of a terrible year, but I'm still giving him a little bit of a resume vote here, career resume vote here. And I am one that's skeptical of he and Sean Payton. But to be fair, I'm going to put him at 13. 14, I have Tannehill. I'm probably a little higher on him than most guys just because I think he embraces the role he has pretty well. He doesn't necessarily need to be the star or the reason they win games. And I think that fits Tennessee well. 15, I have Daniel Jones. Again, all these guys are really tight. I thought Daniel Jones had a great season last year, won a playoff game, got paid. It really was time for him to really turn it on because he was a former first-round pick. Got with, who's their coach? Brian Dable. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. So certainly worked wonders for him. So I bumped up Daniel Jones because he was not 15 last year on my list to number 15. So 11 Carr, 12 Dak, 13 Russell Wilson, 14 Tannehill, 15 Daniel Jones.
All right, and then so 16, I got one of those guys that you just previously talked about.
16 through 20, let's start. Yep.
Yeah, I got Russell Wilson at 16.
I mean, that's fair. I mean,
kind of capping off that top half of the list there. And then at 17, I got Deshaun Watson in the action he had last year.
It's hard to gauge.
Yeah. He missed an entire season and kind of looked underwhelming. And then at 18, I got Jimmy G, the oft-injured Jimmy G. He maybe would be higher because of the consistency if he was able to stay healthy. Mac Jones at 19, and Tua Tagovailoa at 20.
Okay, not that far off from me. 16 through 20 goes like this for me. 16 is Jared Goff. Thought he had a better year than people realized last year. I've always been a little bit higher on him than other people, just because he got the Rams to a Super Bowl, and I think he's been pretty professional when he's gotten to Detroit. And I think, Detroit's a team a lot of people are high on, and he's a starting quarterback for them. I think he falls comfortably in this tier, so I put him at 16. 17, I know he's a little polarizing, and I almost moved him, but I'm going to stick with the original. I guess this is the second half of my list. Kyler Murray at 17 because of his skill set, but if he drowns this year, he'll drop way down.
Sure.
18, Deshaun Watson. He was hard to gauge just because of his life with Houston, then the sit-out year, then signing with Cleveland, only playing in a few games. So I'm not sure where he falls on this spectrum, but I think when you average it all out, I put him at 18. 19, I had Tua. 20, I had Mac Jones. Mac Jones, to me, though, if I were
he's a wild
picking
card.
a guy that will have a bounce-back season, I really think it could be Mac Jones. I mean, New England didn't have an offensive coordinator last year. It was a weird setup for a guy,
Wasn't Matt
second-year
Patricia
quarterback.
the guy last year?
It was very strange. It was it was not the proper order of things. I don't know if it was Bill Belichick outthinking himself, but it was a second-year quarterback. I mean, you want to give that guy as much chance to succeed as anyone. So I'm fine with Mac Jones at 20 based off the year he had, but I wouldn't be surprised if at this point next year he's up a little bit.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Mac Jones. I mean, as long as you got Bill Belichick as your head coach, I mean, you're never gonna have consistently terrible years. I don't think.
Right. All right. 21 through 25.
So I got Ryan Tannehill here at 21. You said the reasons. I don't think he's not going to win you a ton of games, but he's also not going to lose you a ton of games. But I don't think he has what it takes anymore to push them over the top. And I think that's why they drafted a guy like Will Levis. And then you got Kenny Pickett at 22, Bryce Young at 23. I'm getting high with the rookies there, but I think he has the best year out of any of the rookies. Then you got at 24 Brock Purdy / Trey Lance.
Okay.
That kind of hinges on the fact that Brock Purdy's ready to go week one. I'm not sure if I believe the reports that are out there just yet. I kind of need to see it for myself. And then at 25, I got Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so really not that different. I have Kenny Pickett at 21. I like the demeanor of him. I really do, and I think he's got a pretty clean skill set in that he checks a lot of different boxes in what he can do on the field. So I know early in the season last year he threw some picks, but I think Kenny Pickett could have a decent second season. So he's at 21 for me. Number 22, this is where I have Geno Smith, and you say, oh, he had a great year last year. Okay, yeah. We also have a career's worth of resume where he was not a legitimate starter in the NFL. So I just need to see it one more year. I don't want to hate on Geno Smith, but I just need to see it one more year before I start cracking him in the top half of the league in terms of starting quarterbacks. 23, I have Justin Fields, a playmaker with the ball in his hands. They got a few weapons over there in Chicago. Generally, quarterbacks like Justin Fields by year 3, they find that sweet spot. So I think Justin Fields, the Saints played him this year. That could be a terrifying game because of his mobility. 24, I have Jimmy G, and he's fallen for me because there was a point in time where I thought he was going to be the next Saints quarterback. I really did. But the body's starting to break down a little bit. Massive injuries. He's had great playoff success. There's no doubt about that. But at some point, availability becomes the top of the resume, if you will, the top of the list of qualifications needed for the job.
It is
and
the best of
he
it,
just
the best
hasn't
ability.
been consistently available, and there's already issues or whatever in Las Vegas. I don't say issues, but there's already things that are discussed in Las Vegas concerns. So I got him at 24. If he can get healthy, he'll always stay in that, that middle tier range.
Sure.
25, I have Baker Mayfield. Honestly, it's probably more of what's behind him that put him at 25, because based off of what he's actually done over the last couple seasons, I'm not sure he would even deserve to be this high. But I don't put rookies and first year starters ahead of guys that have done it. You're comfortable with that. I am not, because I need to see it first. So 21 through 25 for me is Pickett, Geno Smith, Justin Fields, Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield.
All right. How about 26 to 30 now?
Go ahead.
All right. I got Desmond Ridder at 26. Need to see a little bit from him, especially with the fact that they added Bijan Robinson and everything now. You get another year with Kyle Pitts. And then at 27, I got Jared Goff. I like Jared Goff. I do.
Me too.
And I think that Lions team is a lot of fun, but they had just Jared Goff. Just he needs to hit that second level where he was when he was with the Rams to kind of take that team to the next level. And I don't know if he can hit that anymore. He's consistent, but he's not. I don't think he has enough in the tank to get them there. 28, I got Anthony Richardson.
Okay.
Then at 29, I got Justin Fields.
Oof.
Yeah, I saw some flashes last year, and to prevent me from calling him a bust this next season.
Okay.
And I hate calling guys busts, but I think I need to see him find that sweet spot like you mentioned. And then at 30, I got Kyler Murray.
So you're not a Kyler Murray guy.
I'm not a Kyler Murray guy. The man would rather sit at home and play video games than go out and play under the national spotlight. But hey, some different things for different guys.
Yeah, man. I remember when he came in the league, there was a lot of excitement, and then, man, as the years have gone on in Arizona, it just seems to be issue after issue after issue. So yeah, I wouldn't put him that low, but yeah. That is low for Kyler Murray. For me, I have the Purdy-Lance duo. I love Purdy last year, and I think Lance, if he's capable of playing and he's healthy, that would be an interesting quarterback battle. 27, I have Desmond Ridder. Look, man, the Falcons are really banking that he's going to take that next step because they put some pieces around him, and I'm not sure he's got franchise quality. So that's a huge risk for Desmond Ridder. 28, I have Jordan Love. Again, he hadn't started. 29, I have Sam Howell. So let me just finish like this. So 27, I have Desmond Ridder. 27, those are the guys that started games last year. 1 through 27. 28 through 32, it's all a tie. So it's Jordan Love, Sam Howell, Richardson, Young, and Stroud. That's how I close out my list.
All right, my last two quarterbacks are Sam Howell and CJ Stroud.
So yeah, we're all on the same page with that. Well, the last two, but for me, I just need to see it in an NFL game for a stretch of games with some kind of success before I put him on this list. So that's why I have those guys lower. I have no doubt if any one of these guys plays with any sort of regularity this season, they'll move up on my list. But I just can't, in fairness, put them ahead of anyone that's already done things in an actual NFL game. So that's my list, 1 through 32. I know you had your list there too. We're open for comments, questions, suggestions, debates. Hey, leave your list in the comments below.
Yeah.
Leave your list in the comments below. I want to see how much we differ in terms of the top tier, the middle tier, and of course the bottom tier of NFL quarterbacks. But that was fun, man.
Yeah.
I like doing stuff like that. So that was a fun podcast. So 1 through 32, those are the NFL starting quarterbacks for us.
I'm just waiting to see in the comments somebody calling me stupid for having Kyler Murray at 30, but that's why we have the comment section. Go and comment. But all right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with you again soon. Remember to like, subscribe, rate, and review. Hit the little bell notification button. You get notified whenever we upload a new podcast. For Sean Fazan, I'm Vasilios. We'll catch you guys next time.